Hi everyone, this is Khushboo Chokshi and today we will be doing a quick revision of your chapter Registration of Charges. So what is basically a charge? A charge, is nothing but when you are taking a loan from say a bank or a person or from a company, and when you give your asset as a security towards the loan that you are taking, that's what is called as a charge. So charge is an interest or lien created on a property or asset of a company or undertaking, and it includes a mortgage. So whenever I am taking a loan and I'm giving an asset as a security, it's called as a charge. Now when I'm giving an asset as a security, what does it mean? That the person to the creditor who's giving me the loan is now a secured creditor because he has a security of the asset that I'm giving. Now when I am creating a charge, what is the compliance that I need to make? Compliance that I need to make is, first thing, because it's a company, anything and everything that you do in a company has to be informed to the ROC. So I'll have to intimate the ROC that there's a property which I have, say a land and building, plant and machinery, whatever it is, and I tell him that okay, this is the property and I've created a charge on this asset. This has to be done within a period of 30 days. Always remember that ROC has to be intimated, that is the first thing. But what is the time frame? Most of the cases the ROC has to be intimated within a period of 30 days, but sometimes you have to do it within a period of 15 days or 45 days or 60 days, but most of the times it is 30 days. So here you will be intimating the ROC within a period of 30 days. So that is first compliance. Now because I am intimating the ROC that I have created a charge, ROC will put up everything on its website. So now this has become public information. What is public information? That it's accessible to everyone. Even if you want to see a charge created on any property of a company, you will be able to go and see it on their website. So now it's public information. So everyone who's dealing with the company is deemed to have knowledge that a charge has been created on this particular property. Like how you had your memorandum of association, where any person who's dealing with the company is deemed to have knowledge of the objects of the company, correct? So similarly here this has become public information, and every person who's dealing with the company is deemed to have knowledge of the charge that is being created. Why am I emphasizing so much on this? Because there's a case study which has been asked about this in your examination, wherein it has been said that a person has taken an asset from the company and later on he realizes the company didn't inform him that a charge is created. As a company, it's not my responsibility to inform that person that a charge has been created, because it's a matter of public knowledge and everyone is deemed to have knowledge of that charge that is created. So the company has not informed. He has purchased a particular asset from the company and later on he realizes that there's a charge on the asset. Then can he repudiate the contract? No, he cannot repudiate the contract, because if you go to section 80, what section 80 tells you is that you are deemed to have notice of the charge from the date of registration of charge. So from the date the registration of charge is done, you are deemed to have knowledge of it because it is a matter of public information, correct? So any person dealing with the company is deemed to have knowledge of that, and company cannot offer the same asset to another lender for the another lender for borrowing funds. So now if I have taken a loan from say bank A, I have given my land and building as a charge against the loan that's taken from bank A. Now I have not registered the charge and I am taking a loan from bank B. Act says that you cannot give the same asset to bank B as a charge, because that will amount to a fraud. You cannot do that because you have already created a charge on that particular asset. Now you cannot again create a charge on the same asset. We'll come again on that point later on. So these are the compliances that you are required to make. Now coming to the different types of charges, there are two different types of charges. One is that which is created on fixed asset like your land and building, plant and machinery. It's always going to be there and you are not going to sell it because a charge is created on that. If you ever want to sell it, then you will have to take the approval of the charge holder. Charge holder is nothing but the person who's giving you the loan or from whom you are borrowing the money, the creditor basically. So the charge holder will have to approve the selling of that particular asset, and only then you can sell that asset, otherwise you cannot sell that asset. That is called as a fixed charge, which is on a particular asset and which can be used by you, but you cannot sell it. Floating charge is not on a fixed asset, it's on a floating asset, like my raw material, my stock in trade, my debtors. These are continuously changing and I am creating a charge on that particular asset, then it's called as a floating charge. Now, if say for example I have cotton as my raw material and I have created a charge on say my raw material, that is cotton, does it mean that if I've taken a loan of 5 lakh rupees, I'll keep 5 lakh worth of cotton aside and I'll keep it till the time the loan has been repaid? No, he will want the best cotton, the fresh cotton that is now available. He'll not want a cotton which is like 5 years old. So in that case, what happens is that you can sell the cotton, you can sell the raw material, you can sell the asset which is the underlying asset for the charge that is created, and you are permitted to sell it, you are permitted to deal with it till the time the charge is crystallized. What is charge crystallization? Basically, when I feel that okay, now there's a default, if I am a creditor and if I feel okay, now there's a default that's going to be done, or if the company is not in a good position and I want to crystallize my charge and take back the asset and secure the money that is pending from the debtor, then I'll crystallize my charge. So in this case, the company can sell the asset. It's a floating charge, so the company can sell the asset till the time the charge is crystallized. Once the charge is crystallized, after that the company cannot sell the asset. After that, the company will have to sell the asset and give it to the charge holder, or give the asset itself to the charge holder and the charge holder can sell it. So two types of charge: fixed charge, which is on a fixed asset, land and building, plant and machinery, which is there, which is not going to be sold till the time it is approved by the charge holder. Floating charge on floating assets, raw materials, stock in trade, debtors, which keep on changing. It's not always going to be there. You can sell the asset, you can deal in the asset till the time the charge is crystallized. Once the charge is crystallized, you can not deal in that particular asset. Now coming to registration of charge. Like we discussed, that the charge has to be registered within a period of 30 days. So, ROC has to be intimated within a period of 30 days by the company. Primary responsibility is that of the company to intimate the ROC about the charge that has been created. Now, there's a case study again on this particular thing, wherein what happens is that there's a bank A who has given a loan of say rupees 1 crore to the company, and the company did not register the charge, and against the same asset which here the charge has been created, they also give that charge, that asset, to bank B and take a loan of another 1 crore, and here the bank B, this charge is registered. So who will get the charge on the asset, or who will be the secured creditor in this case? Then the answer is bank B. So what happens is that it is a primary responsibility of the company. Here bank A will say that boss, it is the responsibility of the company to register the charge. They didn't register the charge, so why should I lose on my security, correct? But the act says that if the company doesn't register the charge within a period of 30 days, then in that case it gives an option to the charge holder. The charge holder can go to the ROC and say that boss, this is the loan that I have given and a charge was created on this asset. The company has not registered it and I want to register the charge. So now once you go to ROC SI, if you tell ROC, okay, this charge is created on this asset, he is not going to register till he asks the company. So he will give a notice to the company. He'll ask the company, is this charge created? Have you taken the loan? And it will give a 14-day time period. 14-day time period, the company has to intimate the ROC that yes, a charge has been created and you can register the charge, or it will say, okay, you know what, we are in the process of filing the documents, please do not register the charge which is made by the charge holder, we'll register it on our behalf, so please don't register that. So they have to intimate the ROC as to what the thing is to be done, and then accordingly action will be taken by ROC. So in this case, bank B will get the charge. Why will bank B get the charge? Because bank A has an option as a charge holder to register the charge after the end of 30 days. If it doesn't do so, then in that case the charge is not registered. Whoever registers the charge will become a secured creditor. So in registration of charges, section 77, what is important? You have to intimate the ROC within a period of 30 days. If the company does not intimate, then the charge holder, the person in whose favor the charge has been created, can register the charge with the ROC. And if at any future point of time, if there is a sale of asset or if you are selling it to someone else, the purchaser also has an option to register the charge. So purchaser can also register. So in this case, everyone can register the charge. Whoever is dealing in that particular transaction, the person who's giving the loan, the person who's creating charge, everyone can register the charge. Even after that, if you don't register, then you don't get the benefits of registration of charge. So that takes us, we'll take to the consequences of non-registration. What will be the consequences of non-registration? That if the charge is not created, what will happen is that the official liquidator will not consider it to be a secured creditor. What is happening? That when your company is into liquidation, the first the government dues are paid, then you are paid the secured creditors, then you pay the unsecured creditors if any amount is left. So now if your charge is not registered, then you are no longer a secured creditor. In official liquidation, you are going to be an unsecured creditor, and you are going to rank accordingly in the repayment schedule, and if the money is not left, then you will not get money. But since if you are a secured creditor, if there is an asset left, then you will get the money from that particular asset. So in this case, you will lose the benefit of being a secured creditor in spite of being a secured creditor. So that is one thing which is the consequence of non-registration of charge. But does that mean that the company does not have to repay because now the charge is not registered? No, he's an unsecured creditor and the company is still under the responsibility to repay that amount back to the charge holder. But in the meantime, if someone else comes and registers it, like in our example, bank B has already registered the charge against the same asset, then he will lose the priority of a secured creditor and bank B will get the priority of a secured creditor. So this is the consequences of non-registration. So you have to do the registration. If you don't do the registration, you lose out on the benefits, and this is the consequences of non-registration. Now I have to register within a period of 30 days. Then if I am unable to do that for whatever reason, COVID हो गया, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, नहीं कर पाया, if I am not able to do that, then the government is giving me some extra time. Now here if you see, there are two things. One is charge created before 2nd November 18 and another is on or after 2nd November 18. This has been asked in your examination, but now we are in 2022 and this is not really relevant because the transition has already happened and this is no longer, it's there in your module but no longer applicable, no longer relevant, I would say. So say for example, just to brief you on this, if you have a charge created before November 18, what you had to do is 2nd November 30 days you have to register. If you don't do that, you get an additional period of 300 days. So you get a total of 330 days, which is a longer time frame. अभी अपने को मिलता है only 120 days. Why 120 days? You have 30 days to register your charge. If you have not done within the period of 30 days, you get another 30 days. So you get total of 60 days and you have to pay some additional fees to the registrar that is to be done. I have not done it in 60 days also. Then I will get a further period of 60 days if I inform the registrar as to why I couldn't register the charge in the first place in the first 60 days. So I get 30 days here plus 30 days here plus 60 days. So this 330 days ka jo benefit tha earlier, now I get only 120 days. So I have to register the charge in 120 days. So first 30 days, then another 30 days with extra fees, and then I have to again make an application to registrar. If not done within the first 60 days, another 60 days, after which I cannot register my charge. Correct? Now, so this is about registration of charge. Now again, this is something which we have already done, that if a application is made by the charge holder, what will happen? Company fails to do within 30 days, then the charge holder can inform the registrar that he wants to register the charge, and the registrar will give a period of 14 days notice to the company, and within which the company has to decide whether the charge is to be registered by the charge holder or will they do it themselves. So this is something which is already covered. Now coming to modification of charge, simple provision. What is modification of charge? If there are any change in the terms and conditions of charge, as I told you, ROC has to know everything that's happening in your company. So if there's any modification in the charge, say for example the interest amount is reduced or the repayment schedule has been changed, or you're selling the asset, any modification that's happening in the charge is something that I will have to intimate the ROC about, and the ROC will give you a modification of charge in form CHG 3 when you inform the ROC about the different types of modification. Then coming to satisfaction of charge. Satisfaction of charge matlab I have repaid the loan and now there is no longer a charge on the asset of the company. That is called as the satisfaction of charge. So now when the company is doing the satisfaction of charge, the company will file a documentation like how they do at registration of charge. Similarly, they can file a documentation at the point of satisfaction of charge saying that we have satisfied this loan and there is no longer a charge on the company. Now there are two things. One, where the company will take the sign of the charge holder. The company will say that okay, the charge holder also agrees that the charge has been satisfied. They both together intimate the ROC. ROC will take into consideration the satisfaction of charge. Second, where the sign of the charge holder is not taken. So company is going to ROC and telling that I have satisfied the charge. Like how when you were registering the charge, I told you that he will not just say okay the charge is created because you have told him. He'll check with the company and give 14 days notice, correct? Similarly, here when the charge has been satisfied, he will not tell the charge holder okay charge has been satisfied. He will check with the charge holder. The company is saying that the charge is satisfied, you have not signed it. Is the loan repaid? Should I consider the satisfaction of charge? And he will again give him 14 days. Here pe bhi 14 days, here also we had given 14 days of notice, and again here you will give 14 days of notice. So here ROC will give the charge holder a 14 days notice to intimate whether the loan has been repaid and the satisfaction of charge is done, and once they get a notification, then they will register the satisfaction of charge. If you don't do this within a period of 30 days, which is the time frame within which you have to notify the satisfaction of charge, you get an additional 300 days. For IFSC and public private company, you will get 300 days from the payment of satisfaction of charge for the registration of satisfaction of charge. Now, sometimes what happens is that both the company and the charge holder will not intimate the ROC, but the ROC will come to know from public information that the charge has been satisfied. In that case, the ROC will send a notice to both of them and give them 30-day time frame within which they will have to intimate whether the charge has been satisfied or not. Once they intimate the charge has been satisfied, then he will record the satisfaction of charge in his records. If you don't comply with this provision, again something which has been included in your MTP and RTP as well, what is pertaining to the punishment? What are the punishment? Changes have come in the punishment for the May 22 module. So this is applicable for you guys. Company 5 lakhs, officer in default 50,000. If there is any willful default or concealment, mens rea as possible, guilty mind, in that case 447 shall be applicable. And the last part is rectification by the central government. If there is any omission or if some wrong entry has been registered, in that case the central government has the right to rectify the register if it believes that it is done inadvertently or due to negligence and not willfully. Then the central government can rectify the register if the central government wishes to do so. So this is basically what is about the registration of charges. If you wish to download these notes, you can download it on my Telegram channel. I'll be uploading this on the Telegram channel. You can download it from there. I hope this lecture has been helpful, and all the very best for your preparation. Thank you so much.